Main here with today's story, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Today is the first day of fall, so this is one of my favorite fall stories, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. If you would like to take a quiz number, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves, the quiz number is 109976, and it is a 3.2. Okay, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. Oh, let's see what Fletcher's all about this morning. The world was changing. Each morning when Fletcher bounded out of his den, everything seemed just a little bit different. The rich green of the forest was turning to a dusty gold, and the soft swishing sounds of summer was fading to a crickly whisper. Fletcher's favorite tree looked dull, dry, and brown. Fletcher was beginning to get worried. It's okay, Fletcher, don't worry. "I think my tree is sick," said Fletcher. "What's wrong with it?" his mother asked. "Its leaves are turning brown," said Fletcher. "Oh, don't worry, it's autumn," she said. Fletcher ran back to his tree and patted the rough bark. "Don't worry, it's only autumn," he said. "You'll be feeling better soon." But the tree didn't get better. Each day more leaves turned brown. One morning the wind blew a small brown leaf off of its branch. Fletcher jumped up and caught it very gently in his paw. See him catching it right there? "Don't worry, tree. I've got your leaf. I'll fix you." Fletcher looked around, picked a piece of grass, and carefully tied the leaf to the branch. Just then, another gust of wind ruffled Fletcher's fur. The little leaf shook itself free and fluttered back to the ground. Fletcher picked it up again and thought very hard, and then he poked the leaf onto a twig and pushed it down. Excuse me, sorry. He pushed it down firmly. "Now you hold on tight," said Fletcher. "No more flying around." The little leaf gave a tiny rustle in reply. Hold on tight. The next day, a strong wind was blowing through the forest. Fletcher rushed out of the den and ran all the way to his tree. Lots of branches were bare, and little lost leaves spun everywhere. "Don't worry, tree. I'll catch them for you, I promise." Round and round and round whirled Fletcher after the swirling leaves. Look at, there he is, trying to catch all these leaves that are blowing around. Do you think he's going to catch all of them? "Leaves, wonderful, just what I need for my nest," said a squirrel. "But those belong to the tree," said Fletcher. "Don't take them away." "Well, the tree doesn't need them anymore," said the squirrel, bouncing off. "Help, help! The wind and the squirrel are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. "Leaves? Terrific! Just what I need to keep warm," said a porcupine, rolling around. "But those belong to the tree," said Fletcher, plucking leaves from the porcupine's needles. "Not anymore," snuffed the porcupine, and away he rolled. "Help, help! The wind, the squirrel, and the porcupine are stealing our leaves," cried Fletcher. Suddenly, a flock of friendly birds swooped down from the sky. They picked up the leaves in their beaks and poked them into the tree's branches. Soon the tree was leafy again, and Fletcher flopped down and smiled. "Thank you, birds, thank you," he gasped as the birds fluttered away. He lay looking up through the leaves at the sky and drifted off to sleep. There he is, laying down here. Ah, my beautiful tree has its leaves. I can rest peacefully. But the wind continued to blow, and the branches still danced. The leaves shivered and shook themselves and began to wiggle free. They tossed and turned and twitched and twirled and tumbled to the ground. They brushed Fletcher's ears and nose and filled his dreams with whispering sounds. Doesn't he look so cute? So peaceful. When Fletcher finally woke up, he couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a roof of dancing leaves, all he could see were bare branches against the sky. "Oh, tree, I'm so sorry," gulped Fletcher. "All your leaves are gone." But then he saw, high in the branches, one small leaf still holding on. See it right there? Right where my thumb is, right there. Barely holding on. "I won't let the wind steal that one," said Fletcher, and he began to climb. He crawled along the last leaf and held it firmly onto its branch. All day long the wind blew and the branch bounced, and Fletcher held tight. "I'll stay with you, leaf," he said. "Don't you worry." There he is, staying with that last little leaf, holding on to the last bit of hope. But then, with a sudden whoosh of wind, the branch bounced high, and with a plip, the leaf let go and fluttered like a little flag clutched in Fletcher's hand. So it's waving back and forth in his hand like a flag. Fletcher looked sad at the leaf that he had promised to save. He carried it carefully down the tree and back to his den. He made a cozy little bed for it and gently tucked it in. But all night, all he could think about was his tree all alone. Look how cute he is, tucking in the little leaf. At dawn, Fletcher tiptoed outside. The wind had finally stopped blowing, and the air was cold. The moon still hung in the clear sky, and the pale stars glistened. As he came to his favorite tree, Fletcher saw a magical sight. The tree was hung with thousands of icicles, shimmering silver in the early light. "You are more beautiful than ever," whispered Fletcher. But are you all right?" A tiny breeze shivered the branches, making a sound like laughter. And in the light of the rising sun, the sparkling branches nodded. Fletcher gave the tree a big hug, and then he went back to his den for a nice warm breakfast. So there he is. I wish you guys could see this tree because it actually feels kind of 3D-ish, and it has some glitter and some sparkle to it. It's really, really beautiful. And there's Fletcher "Oh, my beautiful glistening tree." So he's happy again. Hope you guys enjoyed the story for the first day of fall, Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. See you tomorrow.